Pakistan. What comes to mind when you think of the Philippines? I think it will be the land of tinikling, because this is considered a national dance in the Philippines, and almost every Filipino knows how to do it. It's also the land of Super Maid. Due to the Super Maid program launched in 2006, Philippines trains the qualified helpers for the world. Moreover, it's also the land of 1,000 islands, since the Philippines is a tropical paradise in the Pacific Ocean with over 7,600 islands that offer a natural playground for each inner explorer. Well, in order to better understand the Philippines, a distinctive blend of East and West, I'll simply divide it into 5 parts. The land of the Philippines, the culture of the Philippines, the attractions of the Philippines, the food of the Philippines, and the sports of the Philippines. Now, let's go. So, first, let's start with the land of the Philippines. The Philippines, officially known as the Republic of the Philippines, is an archipelagic country in Southeast Asia. Situated between the Pacific Ocean and the South China Sea, it consists of over 7,600 islands. Yet only about 1/3 of them are inhabited. Moreover, the archipelago is divided into 3 island groups: Luzon, the Visayas, and Mindanao, which are further divided into 81 provinces and 136 cities. Among them, the top 5 populous cities are Quezon, the capital of Manila, Caloocan, Davao City, and Cebu City, and its population is just under 110 million in 2020, with a total area of nearly 300,000 square kilometers. It's similar to that of Guangxi in China. Meanwhile, it also shares maritime borders with Japan, China, Palau, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Indonesia. In general, the highest mountain is Mount Apo, located on the island of Mindanao, and the longest river is Cagayan River on the island of Luzon. The national flag consists of horizontal strips of blue and red, with a white hoist triangle incorporating a golden sun and 3 stars. Then, the Philippine currency is called peso, and current exchange rate for 1 Chinese yuan is about 7.4 Filipino peso. In addition, since the Philippines are located near the equator, there are 2 major seasons in a year: the rainy season from June to November, and the dry season from December to May. Second, let's talk about the culture of the Philippines. In the Philippines, many Filipinos speak both English and Filipino, and most Filipinos are Roman Catholics. As for its unique culture, the Philippines appears to be one of the most westernized countries in Asia, where the Eastern culture meets the Western culture. The reason is simple, since it was governed by Spain for over 300 years and the USA for 50. However, underneath the Western veneer, it truly lies an Asian soul. So, what are the culture taboos in the Philippines? Here's what not to do when visiting the Philippines. Number 1, behavior. Don't publicly display signs of anger, raising your voice, or shouting in front of the Philippine, especially those elder or superior to you. Number 2, finger. Don't point your index finger to someone or curl it back and forth to bacon, since this is considered very rude to local people. Number 3, food. Never refuse food from a Filipino, no matter how full you are, because eating isn't just filling the tank, but more of a social event. Number 4, name. Don't use first names, but Paul or Apple to address the elderly or someone older, since Filipinos respect their elders highly. Number 5, religion. Don't talk about religion openly. Philippines is a Catholic nation, especially those of the elder generation are very pious. Third, let's look at the attractions of the Philippines. To be honest, the capital of Manila, known as the Pearl of the Orient, is an amazing place that is both old and modern. The National Museum of the Philippines, Manila Cathedral, the Premier Church of the Philippines, the St. Augustine Church, the oldest church in the Philippines, and a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Manila. Fort Santiago, the oldest Hispanic stone fortress in the Philippines, and Binondo, which is the home to the oldest Chinatown in the world. Additionally, Mayon Volcano is an active volcano in southeastern Luzon. Apart from the attractions on the Luzon island, there are many scenic spots in other places. For example, Puerto Princesa Underground River, a World Heritage Site, and one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, and Secret Lagoon, a small pool on the Palawan Islands, Tinaga Falls, and Mount Apo on the Mindanao Islands, Boracay, one of the world's top beach destinations in the world, and the Chocolate Hills on the Visayan Islands. So in short, whatever your interest, Philippines' 7,641 islands have it. Fourth, let's move on to the food of the Philippines. Frankly speaking, Filipino cuisine has developed from the different cultures that shaped its history. So here is a list of my top food recommendations. Adobo, the most famous and popular Filipino food, is made by stewing meat or a combination of both in soy sauce and vinegar. Kare is a stew with peanut sauce, oxtail, and lots of vegetables. Lechon is a fully roasted suckling pig with perfectly crisp skin and juicy meat. Crispy pata is a type of Filipino dish that is made from deep-fried pig knuckles. Sisig is the meat on a hot stone plate, primarily chopped up parts of the pig's parts. Pancia guisado is a noodle dish served as a symbol for long life. Pork barbecue is chopped, reheated with barbecue sauce and used as a sandwich filling. And beef carrita is a Filipino beef stew made extra rich and tasty by tomato sauce and liver paste. As for the beverage, Filipinos also have one of the widely embraced drinks in the world for expert quality, and local consumption. For example, Kapen Barako is a variety of coffee that is grown in the Philippines. Salabat is Filipino ginger tea. And in scramble, this Filipino beverage is a cold milk-based slushy drink. Finally, let's discuss the sports of the Philippines. To be sure, there are 6 major sports in the Philippines: basketball, boxing, tennis, football, billiards, and volleyball. Despite being a tropical nation, ice skating has recently become a popular sport. Although the ice skating rinks are limited to the shopping malls in the country. Then other sports such as athletics, weightlifting, aerobics, martial arts are also popular recreations. As far as the Asian Games is concerned, the Philippines has competed in all editions of the Asian Games, together with 6 nations. What's more, the second Asian Games were held in the year 1954 in Manila, Philippines, and from then onwards, the Games were organized once in 4 years. Overall, the sporting events that won 10 or more medals in previous 18 Asian Games include swimming, boxing, athletics, shooting, taekwondo, tennis, martial arts, golf, bowling, and cycling. Okay, I've only scratched the surface of the introduction to the Philippines, the intersection of Eastern and Western cultures. You need to go there and see it with your own naked eyes, since seeing is believing. Yet once you enter the Philippines, you can greet them with, "Hey, my friend," and watch their reaction. Thanks a lot for watching. If you really like this video, do remember to give us a thumbs up. Have a good day. Plum. Goodbye, everyone.